Hey guys, I didn't just get out of the Muppets. I actually saw it yesterday. But it was a late night showing, and I got back at like midnight, and people were sleeping, so I didn't want to wake anybody up, and I didn't want to just go out and shoot in the car because the lighting's shitty and it's creepy. I'm afraid that I'm gonna get murdered or carjacked during the review, and the last moments of me that everyone will ever see will be me in a car bitching about the Muppets. Actually, I have no bitching to do because the Muppets was pretty great. Was it as good as the first? No, but they set up the precedence in the opening song, and the opening song is about how sequels aren't as good as the first, but let's have fun anyway. So, with that said, it's not as good as the first one, but it's fun. Excuse me. There were a lot more songs than there were in the first one, and I'm not going to say it gets old or repetitive, but there are definitely songs that drag a little bit more. Especially, there's a new character named Constantine, and whenever he goes into a song, I noticeably feel the movie starting to drag its feet a little bit. Almost like they don't know what else to do with this character. Not that Muppet characters need to be, like, in-depth, three-dimensional, thought-provoking, type stuff, but he doesn't really work unless he seems to have somebody to bounce off of, which is why in the first song, he has Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais, I thought, would kind of be a buzzkill in the movie, but you know what? Turns out, having a straight man surrounded by a bunch of goofy, wacky-ass puppets is pretty goddamn funny. Like, seeing his just complete, like he's just playing completely straight, like normal, with a big, like, shit-eating grin, was really funny. Tina Fey, I'm just going to go through all the cameos, apparently. I'm not going to talk about the plot. The plot is essentially just Kermit gets, mistaken for a very dangerous frog, and they kind of switch places. So now you have a criminal running the Muppets, and you've got the lead Muppet in prison. Tina Fey is a character. She runs the prison. She looks good in Siberian outfits. Like, what it ultimately comes down to, if you've ever wanted to see Tina Fey and Danny Trejo singing a Siberian doo-wop ditty song, Muppets got you covered. Ultimately, I don't have a whole lot to say. The things I do have to say about it, I have trouble forming words because what do you say about a Muppets movie that, like, hasn't already been said? It's... Again, it's not heavy on plot. It's a fun kids movie. The cameo... Okay, I will say this. Well, I was about to say that the cameo, like, star power or whatever, has dropped down compared to the first one, but that shouldn't be a factor in how good a movie is by its cameos. But I did get a sense that, like, there were less of them, and there were more of the... Not all of them, but there were more cameos that were like, well, such and such isn't doing anything. I think probably my favorite was Ty Burrell and his back and forths with, I forgot his character, but the Blue Bird guy, the Blue Bird puppet, the Falcon guy. Their back and forth banter is some of the best in the movie. They're both police officers, but being from different countries, wacky hijinks and cultural differences. There were a lot of good third wall or fourth wall jokes. It's the perfect amount of meta humor because it doesn't get too far up its own ass, and it doesn't get too, like, on the nose. Unfortunately, I can't really spoil them for you because then you wouldn't laugh at them during the movie. It's pretty fantastic. It was a lot of fun. Ultimately, like, I think really my only gripes, quote unquote, with the movie is that some of the songs drag and they kind of kill the pacing a little bit. I was about to say the mood, and they don't kill the mood. The songs all have their own unique identity. They're all very... You can tell what, like, style they're going for, whether it's, like, '70s funk soul, or if it's again more like a doo-wop or like a Broadway number or something like that. It's pretty clear. There's no mix matching about it. It's just that a couple of them go on a little too long and they don't really move things forward. Um, just kind of it almost kind of feels not quite filler, because filler tends to not be entertaining. And that's the thing. The movie overall is very entertaining. Um, fuck, do I have anything else to say about this movie? I will say this: I saw Divergent last week, and I had more fun and attention with the Muppets than I did with Divergent. I had more fun with this kids movie than I did with a future dystopian, whatever that adaptation. It was an adaptation, because Divergent was boring as hell. At least with the Muppets, like, you feel something when you walk out of it. It's a cute movie. I was really bummed that, again, star power cameo list should not, affect whether or not a movie is recommended, because I recommend the movie. I was really bummed because the climax of the movie takes place in London, and I was so bummed that they didn't have Benedict Cumberbatch show up. That would have been perfect. In fact, a lot of the cameos, when you're looking through the credits at the end, you'll kind of be like, he was in that? Where was she? Like, it's very, very quick, and a lot of times they'll be doused in makeup. Yeah, this is a good, solid flick. Solid, fun movie. Not as good as the first. I think a big part of that is missing, oh god, I can't remember his name. The main human characters from the first movie, they're completely absent. Not just from, like, being in front of the camera, but also they didn't, apparently, I guess they didn't have anything to do with, like, the making of the movie. Maybe somebody can correct me on that. I don't think they did. It didn't come off that way. But yeah, I still recommend it though. It's still a solid flick. If you've got little ones in the family, perfect excuse to go see it. If not, bring a friend, because you don't want to be the one creeper by yourself in the kids movie. Alright, what comes out next week? I know The Raid comes out pretty soon. I'm super pumped for The Raid 2. Holy crap. I don't know what comes out this week, but I'll see it, and then I'll come bitch about it to you guys. Till then, bye.